It goes live automatically.
Hey, Joe.
Hello, we are live. It goes live apparently automatically. You don't need to do anything, which is great.
Oh,
Apart from
nice.
trying
Okay.
to let's change the view of the screen.
Well, hello.
Hello, Mag.
Welcome, everybody.
I'll play around with the dimensions later on after this.
Absolutely. Well, welcome, everybody. We are just launching on our new platform, which apparently has got lots of features and toys to play with. So we are a work in progress, but excited to be trying out this new platform.
I'm loving it.
And Joel's been playing around uh, profusely in the
Forward.
background. Absolutely. Martha, how are you today on this wonderful social Saturday?
Woohoo, I'm doing good. It's nice to see everybody. And I'm actually on my phone, so it looks really cool on the phone as well. And I was able to get right in. So very nice.
Good. So hopefully, Joel, if you'll be able to share the link for those people that want to join
I
us up on
will
stage.
do again, but I have done
Yeah,
a
we
lot of
just
times.
need to keep doing it throughout.
And if anyone is struggling to find the link, I believe I sent it in the Social Saturday networking chat, not the co-host one, the other one.
Okay, so we also need to send it on Social Saturday chat comments in the event, so that those that are not in our little exclusive, long-standing members group and support group can also get in. And we have the wonderful Felipe Cofiño. Welcome, Felipe. How are you?
Good. Can you see me? I'm not sure if I'm on the screen or not.
Yep.
Okay.
You're on the screen.
We're on the screen, yep.
What's that?
Excellent stuff.
You are
How's
on
my
the
audio?
screen. We can see you.
Okay. How's my audio?
Fantastic.
Your audio is good.
All right. Good.
So welcome to the new platform. We are going to work through the teething stages as we become a lot more fluent at using it over the next few weeks with
Just
all
send
its
me a
wonderful
whole
features.
list. Just send me a whole list of shit to work out afterwards, and then I'll go and do that.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, let's get going, folks. So if you are already in the audience, drop in the comments where you are joining us from, what questions you have on this wonderful topic today. Let's see where this conversation may lead us. Who's going to go first? Joel, you were first on today, so I'm going to put the pressure on you to give you a quick intro.
I'm presenting it for you, yes.
Well, there we go. So intro and share a fun fact, and then let's get going. And you can pass the mic to either Martha or Felipe. I'm just gonna put it out there.
I have put it out there. I have put the link out there. But if you haven't seen it, and if it hasn't come up, Felipe, could you please put it out there again in case it didn't send, and while I do my introduction. Thank you very much. Right, my name is Joel. Those of you who don't know me, and I, amongst what I do in my day job and everything else, and musician and stuff, I am actually doing a lot of all the what you see here in real time. So I'm actually figuring things out as we go along. Not my favorite preference, but here we are. I run my own. I think I should. I think I'm going to call it creative empowerment company, because it's not just music, is it, Mag?
No.
It's a bit of everything. So I've been doing that for 3 years, and it's really to help shine the spotlight on neurodiversity and how they can actually have a voice too. Passing it on to Felipe, have you finished playing around, or are you
playing around? I'm posting it for you. request there.
Right, I'll go to Mac next while Felipe's doing that thing.
I'm done. He's very bossy today, isn't he, Mac?
Today. Off you go, Felipe.
Oh, you want me to go? I thought you were going. All right, fine. I'll go. Hello, everyone. I'm Felipe Cofiño. For those of you I have not had the pleasure of meeting, I am a passionate HR executive, a career coach, founder of Cofiño Consulting, currently a LinkedIn top voice, and most recently an author of Miranda and Max, a children's book that you can find on Amazon.com. And fun fact about me today is that I have probably slept, I'd say close to 20 hours out of the last 48 hours. And I think it's just strictly recovering from Halloween, the time change, all the things just that we've been working on with our board meeting. I finally needed rest, and my body's like, I'm shutting you down whether you like it or not. And it did. And so I woke up at 7 a.m. this morning, fell back asleep at 8 a.m. and up at 11:55, 5 minutes before today's show. So there's the fun fact, is that if you don't take care of yourself, your body's going to take care of it for you. Over to you, Mac.
Well, Felipe, you are here. That's what counts. And the fact that you are taking care and listening to your body, that is so important. Because far too often you wait until your body knocks you down, and unfortunately that is not always something people recover from. So listen to your bodies. As somebody who unfortunately speaks from experience, with a heart attack at 35 where I wasn't listening, so I think I've got like some experience in making sure that I can speak on this subject. So please listen to your bodies, take the rest. And Felipe, we are glad that your body is recharging correctly. Got those solar panels and everything else in, and your batteries are getting stronger. So glad to hear.
Observation. Our chat here, when we chat, does not come on LinkedIn. So people, the people on LinkedIn don't see this. Like Mac, he just posted the link for everyone, and it's not showing up here for some reason.
Then it's doing exactly what other streaming services I have done. That's you're not allowed to post. You're not allowed to put a chat on LinkedIn for some unknown data protection bullshit reason.
Okay, but
okay. So we have to chat in the LinkedIn chat, but that concerns me for how it's affecting YouTube and all the other areas you have it going to. I know you wanted a list, Joel. I'm starting it.
Thank you. Send it on WhatsApp as you go, Felipe. Just
oh no, I'm just gonna yell it out as I think of them to you right now. That's all I'm gonna do the entire show.
Spam my phone.
Amazing. So just a quick one. Joel, I'm assuming you can see everybody's comments on your screen that are coming through.
No one's come through yet.
Okay, because there have been quite a few already.
Yeah, there's quite a few on LinkedIn, Joel.
I need to look at my phone.
So let's just give a quick shout out then. We've got Meryl, as always. Thank you for joining us, my friend, and screaming and shouting about Social Saturday and sharing it out there. Today is going to be an interesting session, not only on the topic, but also using this new tech. So bear with us as we go through that. Lisa, good to see you. Gabriella, good to see you. Melanie, some guy Felipe has commented. David Pushkin. And we've got several other likes in there. But drop in where you're joining us from. And today's topic, we haven't got there yet because Felipe and Martha haven't finished their introductions yet. So, Felipe, did you want to finish that?
No, I think I was done. I talked about being HR, LinkedIn. Fun fact: are we doing networking today?
And you mentioned your book.
What's that?
Your fun fact was the 5 minutes waking up before the session.
Yeah. Sleeping for 20 hours out of the last 48 was my fun fact. Yeah.
So nothing else to add at this stage?
I mean, for someone who just woke up, I'm not thinking clearly. So if you have something, sharing, let me know.
Okay,
But,
we're going to come back to Felipe for
all
his
right,
wonderful
please do.
reset later. Martha, over to you, please.
Thank
Introduction.
you. Yeah, hello, friends. Good morning, evening, or maybe night. I hope everyone's having a great Saturday. I am a humanitarian. I love working with unhoused folks in the community. That's my jam. And I'm also the founder of Connect Impact Hub. Um, we got some things that I'm working behind the scenes, but I know it was mentioned earlier by Mac about self-care. Um, yes, I've been doing a lot of self-care lately. That's my fun fact. And most importantly, I have a whole medical team now involved in my healthcare. So I am promoting healthcare 100%, even more now. And Mac, thank you for sharing. I had no idea you had a heart attack at 35 years old. That's alarming. But I appreciate you sharing. And I'm looking forward to having this conversation with everyone. I'll pass it over to Mac.
And I have to find the mute button. Amazing. Okay, folks. So, Joel, go for it.
I knew that was coming. It's not really a stream without you losing the mute button.
Well, when I'm running on multiple different screens and new browsers and all kinds of things, it's all good fun. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. So don't be scared of starting your own LinkedIn Live and stream. But yeah, a few hundred later, we try new tech, so it's all good. So with the subject of building a purpose-driven business or social impact and sustainability, I kind of wanted to go around the room and just ask each one of you, and I'm going to start with you, Felipe, because you're the most recently woken up. Your brain's had the most rest. And kind of get your thoughts on this topic, and what springs to mind for you right away.
Well, I'll be very transparent. I'm looking at the topic again to remind me. Oh, yes. Okay. So, I've watched my father build a business. I've watched my brother-in-law build a business. I've been part of small businesses that were growing and starting. I'm currently part of a nonprofit that's had to reimagine itself. And I founded Cofiño Consulting from the ground up. A lot of people want to start a business. There are stats out there that say that 10% of new businesses fail in the first year. I'm sorry, forgive me. 90% of new businesses fail in the first year. And it doesn't mean that they don't continue after the first year, but they basically are not successful. They don't make money. They aren't sustainable in the model they're using. And so for me, you have to put the work into it. You can't just wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to start a business, And a lot of people get excited. They chase that shiny new penny and they want to start something and they get all excited. You got to put that business hat on. You got to think about things that will make it sustainable for you as a human being. First of all, being that solo person starting it, are you able to maintain what you're creating? Do you have partners? Do you have investors? And then are you communicating it with your community to find out who else can support you? Because here's the thing, people try to do things by themselves. A lot of times, unfortunately, it's because they're greedy. They don't want to share it with anybody else. They don't want to do anything, or they're so introverted that they're afraid to share it with everybody else. These are things that we have to get over when we start a business. You can't expect people to come to you. You have to actually get yourself and put yourself out there. You have to put yourself and take risks. You have to get yourself on video here. If you have something to promote, no one's going to know about it if you don't go out and talk about it on video and in person. So it's a full-time job and the hours are up to you, but you put in a lot more hours because it's your baby. You're creating it. So I think that you have to find that purpose that drives you. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have a purpose, it is not going to be sustainable. So you got to figure out, what is your reason? Are you trying to fulfill a need that people have out there? Are you trying to share something to help people out there? Are you trying to create something new that you think is going to be innovative and different and helpful? But what is your purpose? And if you don't have that, start there. So I'll stop and go back to you, Mac.
You're on mute, Mac.
Not anymore. So there are a few things that came to mind. Felipe, you spoke about the 90% of businesses that fail, and having a purpose. And I think that from some of the discussions I've had over the last few weeks with various people and various business owners, it still surprises me how many business owners they're not clear on the purpose. They're not clear on the vision and the outcomes. And even though it surprises me, it doesn't shock me. Having worked both in sales and marketing over 3 decades plus, that's why I have no hair left. But one of the most common things that I see is that businesses get started as a reaction as opposed to a plan. So what do I mean by that? As an example, in sales, absolutely love it, because there's always a salesperson who goes, oh man, I can get a bigger chunk of the commission. I could do this all myself. What is everybody else doing? And they don't know about all the little cogs that are turning in the background within the large business. And then they go out on their own, and all of a sudden, nobody's booking those appointments in, or nobody's doing the insurances, or nobody's doing the accounts, or what, I have to pay tax, or all these other things that come along with running a business. And it's not, it's gone on emotion rather than actually emotion, as well as planning and logic and really thinking that process through. So as business owners, the clearer you are on your purpose, the outcome, the client, all these things, the better it is, and the stronger the chances of survival are.
Absolutely.
I did a post this week.
Oh, go ahead.
Go for it, Felipe.
No, go finish with your post. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, as a result of this subject coming up, but also these conversations, I did a post this week about, would you take somebody else's prescription from your GP? Because I see so many people doing that, not only in business, but on LinkedIn or any other platform. They see what other people do. They don't know why those people have made those decisions, but they assume that's what they need to do. So therefore, they follow what they see other people do. And that's why so many businesses fail, is because they're trying to start at the same point as what they see somebody else at. Now, that person may have taken 2-3 years to plan, do all the work to get to the stage where they're at, where they're ready to do what they're currently doing, as opposed to just trying to jump the gun to that stage. So it's really important to understand what it is that you are, what's the intention, what's the purpose, and then when it comes to the social impact and sustainability, this is where I have questions both for you, Felipe, as well as Martha and Joel, because each one of you have different viewpoints on this, but different visions and plans and purposes and intentions when it comes to those. So I'm going to throw that back to you, Felipe, and then if you can pass that on, and anybody wants to join the conversation, jump in.
Thank you, Mike. No, I just wanted to add one thing. When you were speaking, talking about planning, we've all talked about goal setting here. You all know that I like to create SMART goals and very, and that is a part of your business, is that you have to have a plan for your goals. But big picture, when you're running the business, you got to think about when I'm dealing with a small business or I'm dealing with a Fortune 500 business, the one thing that's very common is having a strategy plan. And I don't mean just a plan for the next year. I mean a plan for year 1, year 2, year 3. And then what's your 5 and 10 year plan? The softer plans long-term look like? Because if you don't have that future vision of 10 years from now, what are we going to look like? it's a lot harder to work towards that vision. And if you don't have a strategy for year 1, year 2, year 3, knowing that things are going to change and it's not going to be just the way you wrote it, but at least you have a plan to follow. And as things come in that cause change, you know how to navigate a little bit better because you know what your original plan was, and you just need to make little corrections, little detours, and still get to the ultimate goal. It makes me think I probably should do a room or a show around this topic because strategy planning is not something that people always enjoy doing because it takes time, but at the end, people come out of it saying how worthwhile it was and how they want to do it again every year because it really does cause you to have those hard conversations about those things that could be detrimental to your business. So I just want to remind people, plan it out. Dogs all agree with me, as you can see. So let's make sure that you take time, write it out. Use ChatGPT to help you. What am I forgetting from this plan? Because it will fill in the gaps. And over that, I'll hand it over to you, Martha. Hopefully Teddy's being a little bit quieter than Gia. Copper.
Yeah, Teddy's actually getting pampered today. He's been getting pampered lately, okay? So he got dropped off at the spa today. So
he is actually a spa. He's at a dog
he's
spa.
actually, yeah.
I love that.
He is. He is. He got dropped off early this morning before I came on, and he was a little nervous because it's a new place. But the young lady, she seems really sweet, so we'll see how he does when I pick him up. But yeah, going back to this conversation, yeah, running a business is definitely intense. With Connect Impact Hub, we're live in Texas and in California, and you have to follow protocols, okay? And I'm still learning, okay? It's only year 1, and we haven't really fully launched all the way, yes, it's alive and it's up and running, but there's still things that we're working through. So, like Max said, don't just go off of like passion, right? Because it is work. I mean, I have a 9 to 5, um, and then I'm still trying to run a business. And then on top of that, I'm helping other organizations launch as well their programs. So I'm doing a lot. And so like it's it's taken a toll. Like literally burnout is a real thing. When you're trying to multitask so many different situations. So I had to like take a step back from a couple things. And then so I can focus more on Connect Impact Hub. But it is work. It is not something that's going to be laid out for you and you're just going to be like, okay, here we go. The bike's already ready to go. You're just going to jump on it and you're just going to, ride it, right? It's not. You like have to put the bike together. You got to make sure every little thing is working correctly. It is a whole process. And you cannot do this alone. You really can't. And it's passion. Yes, you could be passionate all day long, 24 hours a day, but you have to have a system to make it work. And without that system, you may fail.
I want to go back to what Mac was saying earlier about that sales example. I think many of us have probably experienced that salesperson that's just knocking it out of the park and bringing in business left and right, and people are like almost like bowing down to the person because they're bringing in so much money, and then they feel entitled and they think that they are carrying the whole business. I have fired people like that, which in the past never would have gotten fired for being inappropriate, for creating a toxic work environment, for being unprofessional, because they think they could get away with it. And 20 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to fire them. They would have gotten away. No, you have to understand, they bring us in too much money. We can't lose them. So that was a very common thing that a lot of CEOs, CFOs, directors of sales would say out of fear, because they were afraid and cowards of losing someone. So they let them create toxicity that would cause others to leave, great people. Mm-hmm. And so what I want to remind people is that those solopreneurs, okay, I'm going to be a little controversial here. I don't believe in solopreneurs. I believe in entrepreneurs. I think anyone that calls themselves a solopreneur, you're really an entrepreneur because you're never doing it by yourself. You're using apps to help you. You're using ChatGPT to help you. You're outsourcing some things probably to other people to do it for you. You're not by yourself. When you think you're by yourself, that's a big red flag for you to fail because no one can do it by themselves. And so I encourage you all to remember that, like Mac's example, are you a financial expert to do the finances? Are you a recruiter so you can recruit people when you need to? Are you a marketing and brand specialist so you can market and brand? Are you a salesperson that can sell and go out there and talk to the people? You may have qualities of each of those, but are you as good as someone who does it professionally? Probably not. So hone on the skill that you have and then build that community to be sustainable, to tap into those that have the skills that you need if you can't learn them yourself. But don't try to be everything for everyone because you're going to burn out. Like Martha said, you're going to falling asleep like I did after you wake up. You can't keep on doing it and not expect people to help. I have a whole team at PRB that does that for a nonprofit. We have to make sure that legally we are doing things correctly behind the scenes so all the sales and BD people can do their job. The BD and sales people are not worried about the legals and the audits and the financials and the compliance. They really don't care about that. But if you're an entrepreneur, you need to care about that because it could destroy your business. Wow, I'm getting really serious and intense today. Sorry about that, you all. Over to you, Mac.
Yeah, I think all of these things are the things that people really need to think about when it comes to running their businesses, because it's so easy to I love it when I see yesterday I saw this ad for get your business up and running in 5 minutes or less, and I went, ooh, okay. So for somebody who, like me as an example, has been through those situations where I'm either just being made redundant or clashing with somebody on something at work, or you, like you say, Felipe, when you've got that top sales dog in the room and they toxic for everybody else, but the company is so scared to lose them. In those little moments, that's when you could lose your team to things like that, where somebody goes off and actually does more damage in those 5 minutes than what had they taken a breath, slept on it, and the next morning decided, okay, you know what? I've had a look at it. I've got the resources. I have a month left at work. I'm not just going to walk in and blow everything up in the office and say, that's me done, and be reactive. I'd love to see the statistics of how many websites have been created and never launched, or how many URLs have been domain names have been bought and nothing has ever come from it. And I could, I know I've got multiple because I wanted to own those domains, but it would be a frightening amount of intentions versus reality and what actually came about. So if that resonates with you and you've been in that situation where you've started a business or multiple businesses, feel free to drop it in the comments and give your advice to somebody who may be able to learn from what you have done or your own personal experience. And then again, on the flip side, those of you that have been extremely successful with launching a business, again, share your experience, because some people have the lottery experience where they try it out and it works and it just goes. But then there are those that have actually taken the time. They've got thought through the process. They thought about the financial side of things. They thought about the product and the service side of things. They thought about the business support and all the different solutions that they need in order to be able to run that business. And you become a lot wiser, or at least I hope you do, through experience. If you're repeating the same things, then this is where external mentoring and having somebody that you can go and have it use as a sounding board can give you an opportunity to really, switch the lights on when it comes to what the reality is versus where you think you are. Because most business owners, there's that saying of working in your business versus working on your business. And most people don't know the difference. So Martha, Felipe, Joel, anybody want to jump in on that?
Mac, you mentioned about people out there sharing their story, but not like growing along. There's one influencer out there on LinkedIn, and I call them an influencer because they get thousands of likes. Probably have a bot, I don't know, but every post for the last 2 years has been around the same thing. Oh, I came to America and I got a job at Google, and I'm an immigrant that has been successful. It was a wonderful story. It was absolutely a gorgeous, wonderful story that she wrote, but then she rewrites it 100 times. And it's kind of like, okay, what else what are you doing with that opportunity? Where are you going with this? And to your point about experience, nothing can replace experience. I'm sorry. You have to realize that. To mention to you, I just published my first children's book. I'm not an author. I've never considered myself a writer. I have never thought I was going to. Oh, shut up. Yes, I am. The dog. No. And so when I met Nick and she got me into co-writing, and then I started writing this children's book, I was very nervous. I was reaching out to help people to help me, had experience doing it. But when the book was done, I was talking it on live interviews. I was promoting it on podcasts. I was doing little posts about it. I created a little video. I reached out to someone who's a songwriter and doing a lot of songs on Suno and said, hey, could you write a song for this book? I took my animated video I use AI for to make them all come to life and put the video, and I put all that out there. I'm sharing this with you, not to brag, but because I just did what I knew and what I had experience in that last part. After promoting the book, sharing the book, creating some cool videos, those are things I've always loved to do and have experience doing it for my companies and for myself. I reached out to people for publishing. I reached out to people for the songwriting. I reached out to people that I didn't have the skills for. Afterwards, my publisher says to me, hey, you should kind of package what you did for your book to promote your book for other authors that don't have that talent and skill, which I never would have thought of. So my point is that there are people out there that have the talents and skills that you need. You just got to look for them and reach out to them, because it's a community. And to be sustainable, you got to be part of the community, because they're the ones who are going to be your ambassadors. They're going to help you promote and talk about you when you're not in the room. That's one of the things I love about Melissa Houston, is that we talk about each other when we're not in the room a lot. Whenever I say document and then act, which is not, the most original concept in the world, but she has made it part of her brand. So when I mention about that, I always mention about her, because that is part of her brand. That's what she does really well, and she coaches to it. When we're talking about recruiting and HR, she always mentions me. That is what your community can do for you. So Mac and all them, when they talk about HR, they usually bring up me. If they don't, we'll talk about it later. I don't know. No, but the issue is that just lean into that. If you want to be sustainable, you got to realize that the social impact you are about giving back. And this is the last part I'll shut up about, is I've been thinking about retirement for the last 20 years. Not because I want to, because I'm just future focused, and I want to make sure that I'm not quitting my job and retiring and saying, oh crap, I have nothing, no money, and I can't do anything, or what am I going to do? So, and because I work in HR, I see a lot of people retire and they're like, I don't know what to do with myself. So I've been doing a lot of giving back on LinkedIn, because people gave back and helped me along the years. And so I wanted to do it. By doing that for the last 15 years, it's helped build my credibility. It's about what I know about. It's helped build my community. It's helped build my reputation. When I retire, I want to keep on doing some of this. I want to keep on writing, maybe. I want to maybe charge for certain services that maybe I didn't charge in the past, but people already know that I'm valuable enough and I provide good services because they've seen it in the past. So that is my long-term, that's my 10-year plan, if you will, that I'm trying to build, but by what I'm doing today. So you got to think about your purpose, how the future looks for that, how people are going to help you get there, and really just really have that strong plan, because then let yourself go and start reacting. Because once you have the plan, you can react, be passionate, and go there because you know where you're going. And whenever you have any questions about where should I be going, you look to your map and say, oh, I got to turn left here and go this way now. It is such a relief. And guess what? You won't go back to your plan a lot because it will be in your head. And you'll realize 5 years later, like, oh, holy crap. I remember saying I wanted to do this, but I can't believe I'm actually here now today. And you got to celebrate those moments. All right. I did not think I'd be this passionate about this topic, Mac. I'm sorry, but I think it's something that I want to share all the lessons learned that I've had because we've all had different lessons learned.
Absolutely. I mean, just before we go to either Martha or Joel, on what you were saying there, Felipe, Tom dropped a comment earlier, which I just want to kind of read out to everybody. For some reason, we've just realized that there is a technical challenge with regards to showing some of the comments on screen.
Yes,
but we will have that fixed for the next session. Tom says, Mac, one just has to wing it when starting a business like brick and mortar, jump into it with both feet and make the best of it. If you overplan your plan and are on a limited budget, take the chance anyway. Where's it gone? Because you never know what your capabilities are until you dive in and just do it. Now, I think if I add a little bit of perspective there, 100%, I actually do agree, because sometimes if you don't act, it's out of sight, out of mind. But here's the thing: is understanding that clear purpose is important. If you're just going to go and say, well, I'm going to start a business because I had an argument with my boss today, maybe not the best idea. But if you've got something that's burning and you think, well, there's a solution out there, I can fix this, the details will come. Once you've got that purpose and you've got that vision, everything else will fall into place because you have something that you're looking at solving long term. Whereas if you're literally just responding and reacting like so many people do, it's a totally different outcome. Those are my thoughts. But Martha, Felipe, Joel, feel free to jump in.
So I respect where he's coming from, because I do think that there is a certain spontaneity that you need to have when it comes to this. But to your point, if you don't know what direction you're headed and what your purpose is, so when I say create a 1, 2, 3 year plan, I don't care if it's high level. I'm talking about, hey, year 1, I want to have, a strong LinkedIn platform with this many followers. Year 2, I want to have a company page. And year 3, I want to make profit. You know what? That's better than nothing. And so, again, you've got to have some kind of strategy of what are those mile markers? Because if you don't have those goals or those mile markers of success that you have set for yourself, you're going to drain yourself and not feel like you're accomplishing anything. You have to create those moments of accomplishment where you can say, oh, okay, I reached that, and it energizes you and re-energizes that passion to get you to react and keep on moving forward. So there's a lot of science behind how the brain helps you be sustainable. So that reacting is like a sprint. You can sprint and then you're drained. Starting a business is a marathon, y'all. You got to think about it, because, again, those quick reactions, yes, they do spark sometimes wonderful ideas and can grow into some wonderful business. But is it sustainable? The risk is higher when you don't have a plan.
Oh, I need to have it again. There we go.
Do you want to add something in there, Joel?
Only if you are pissed at your boss, do what I do. Don't start a business. That's a terrible idea to get back at your boss. I just like to shoot people's heads off on video games.
I'm really glad you said video games after that.
I was a little bit concerned about a live on air reveal that might shock the world, but no, it's all good.
Darts on the dartboard are just as effective. You can throw darts at the dartboard. I think if you're that if it's that bad, you should probably look for another job or start your business. Martha, you're back in on video. We love it. You look great.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, recently I witnessed something that was alarming. A person that started a business got let go, and and it almost makes me, as a founder, it kind of makes me sit back and think and reflect, um, like what's important, you know? Because yeah, we can build something from the bottom up, but is that always going to be there for us forever? I mean, are we actually going to be there forever? So just kind of as you were talking about retirement, Felipe, you know, I just kind of think like just be very open-minded. Like I found something that I love to do, but I'm also looking at not trying to overthink too much because I'm an overthinker. And then I overthink and then I go overextend myself and then I burn out. And right now, this is the face of a burnout person. Because right now I'm going through burnout. Like I literally was doing too much, like I said before. But I just have to like think like, okay, just be grateful for what we're doing right now. Like right now is self-care and what you can do right now and don't overextend yourself. And so it's been an interesting couple of weeks. Just looking as a person running a business, and it's still a startup, and it's going to be a startup for a while. But it's still there's growing pains that come with a business. It's not something that you're just like magically going to have all the answers in the world. I wish we did. I wish we had a way to end homelessness. I wish everyone could collaborate more, you know. But I will get passionate about this too, Felipe.
And you are, because you bring up an important point about the burnout and the sustainability of. You have to learn how to set boundaries and how to say no. It's a very common problem with parenting too. And what I mean by that is you really got to define what you need to do and what you want to do, and then set the boundary to say no, not right now. And what I mean by that is this: I need to get this done tonight. Do you? Is there a due date? Is someone waiting for you? If there is, okay, fine. But if it's not, it's just because you want to get it done tonight, put it to the side. You have to create those boundaries to say no to yourself first and foremost, and then no to other people. And I think that that's such an important thing for us to, as entrepreneurs and anybody, is to create those boundaries to allow ourselves to say no, not right now, because we want to get everything done today. And if we listen to the want versus the need, you're going to burn out. I've seen it happen time and time and time again. So today, I mentioned earlier that I woke up at 7 a.m. I've been going nonstop, time change, Halloween, work, our board meeting. I woke up for half an hour and I went right back to sleep. The old me were like, no, I can't waste the morning away. I can't waste the day away. There's too much to do. No, I said, my body is just saying you need to rest. There's a reason for it. And I did. And it was one of those things where I woke up, I had 3 dogs all around me. I'll share a picture of it, looking right at my face, all 3. And I'm like, I took my phone, I took a picture of them, and I'm like, what the hell are you all doing? And they were waiting to go outside, even though there was other people in the house. So it's create those boundaries to help you not burn out. Tell people, no, I'm sorry. I know, you know what? I know I was going to get to you by Friday, but I'm going to get to you by Monday if that's okay. Oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Monday's fine. But you got to ask. And so, Martha, I'm so glad that you are realizing a lot of some of this stuff here, that you are taking care of yourself right now. But let's be proactive and learn from our mistakes. Learn from all our mistakes so that you don't have to practice being out of burnout.
Thank you, Felipe. Yeah, and it's okay to seek help. You know, now I got a medical team, and I'm also focusing on self-care. I got a massage yesterday, and I'm like, okay. And I was supposed to say yes to a project, and I actually said I can't do any projects right now, and
Yay!
it felt empowering to say that. And I said, when I'm ready to work on something, I will give you a call. And I was like, oh my gosh, did I just? So then I was thinking like, and I started overthinking though, Felipe. And I was like, should I had said yes? Because that would have been an opportunity. But then I was like, no, because I'm not okay right now. So I declined. I kindly declined, and because I'm not okay right now. So
I'm so proud
please
of you.
take
So
care of
proud of you.
yourself, guys. Like, I really mean that. Take care of yourselves. Um, and I also started monitoring my blood pressure and my heart rate because it was all being affected. And so I've been monitoring it, and I'm just like, that comes as a person that's on the go consistently. Like, it doesn't matter what position you're in, just please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself.
And I just want to echo, massages are awesome. Just make sure I get a massage once a quarter, and just don't schedule anything afterwards because it kind of kills the whole massage vibe. You're like, you had a massage buzz, you felt good, and all of a sudden, like, hey, help me move this stuff to the backyard. I'm like, oh, okay, and like, I feel as relaxed anymore. So let's get plan again. We keep on saying plan your self care, plan your business. Planning is a word that, and I'm not over plan. Don't over plan. Don't overthink. Even if it's on a post-it note and it's like, here's my plan for today. That's okay. See the dog.
Yeah, I wanted to jump in on that, the whole over planning thing, because it's the same as what Martha was saying earlier about when you kind of over analyze, and I'm very similar, and it's like, what's the saying? Paralysis by analysis, um, and you overthink things, and that's why a lot of things don't come to fruition because you sit there and you either aim for perfection, which means it never happens, or you overthink things and you got too much detail. And if you've like me, where you might have ADHD, it could be, well, I've done all this planning. Squirrel comes along, and then you forget that you've got this folder full of all these great ideas, all the plans laid out, and 6 months later you go, I should have, and then you realize you've done all the planning and you haven't even looked at it. So just keeping to simple 2-3 things that you're going to be able to execute on a daily basis is so important. Having the longer term plan, yes, that helps, but just having something, it's have you ever experienced and seen how much you are capable of doing when you know you've got a holiday coming up? And for me, that's one of the best analogies that I've ever experienced, because it's like, okay, in 2 weeks, I'm going on holiday. And then those few days just before the holiday, all of a sudden, your productivity is through the roof. Why? Because you've got something that you're working towards. It's a goal, it's an outcome. And all of a sudden, you do like 10 days worth of work in 2. And it's because you have a vision and a purpose and an outcome. Whereas if you are just sitting there and you've got no idea, no plan, there's no way of measuring productivity. Your productivity doesn't necessarily increase, and you can become what we call a very busy fool in business, where you're just doing stuff, but you're not sure what the outcome or the purpose is. And by the way, Felipe, I have to interject, because earlier when Copper barked, I'm sure it was something along the lines, don't forget to mention that I'm in the book too.
No, he's in book 4. So he's like, hurry up because I'm writing book 2 right now, which is Brady and Lucky the One-Eyed Cats. So he's very eager to be in book 4. Gia and Lulu are going to make appearances, but I can't promise them a book, right? But you also mentioned earlier about chasing. I said chasing the shiny penny, which apparently penny's being discontinued in the U.S. So chasing that squirrel. We always say squirrel, 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 right? I want to show you a graphic or an image of a picture that is actually in my children's book, that's very relevant to today. Is that there's a squirrel called Sammy the Squirrel in our children's book. This is a squirrel that was in our yard for a good 5-8 years. And to show you that not all squirrels, even squirrels, have to take a break, I want to show you. Here's Sammy. and he's just chilling on that branch, arms hanging down, like, I need a break. Do not ask me to do anything. The answer is going to be no. So I just wanted to show you that even the squirrel's like, cool, nut. He's like, no, I'm not going to chase that nut today. I'm going to take a break and relax. So that squirrel would lay on that branch daily for months on end. Every year he'd come back and we would see Sammy. And so he is in our book. And he talks, and he will be making an appearance in all the books. But I wanted to show you that because, again, we say squirrel because even squirrel take a break. So take that break. Leave that nut for somebody else, like Martha did. That project nut was let someone else take on that nut because I don't have the energy right now, and that's okay. I feel like this has been a very serious topic today, so I just wanted to bring a little bit of, just he's real.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
So Joel,
yeah.
Oh, when we get a phone call, it takes you out of the app, just so you guys know.
Oh, I got a whole list for Joel. I got a whole list.
Yeah.
On my way, I'm currently going to be learning first how to use the RMTP so we can get the real time comments inbound. Hopefully.
I'm just wondering why I feel like David Pushkin haven't come up. Are they having any issues, or are they just not coming up today? Because so let us know if you're having. Your feedback about the app.
Yeah.
About Riverside. If you have any feedback, let us know because we want to make sure that this works for you all, not just for us. Because
Felipe, how was it getting in? How was it using the link for you?
Well, I download just like StreamYard. I downloaded the app and it just lets me in. But I don't seem. If I turn off my camera, you can't put your picture up. It seems like.
Well, you haven't got a picture registered, probably. Nor have I, actually.
You can put it up when you come in. There's an option for you to put it. Yeah.
Now I
just figured that out.
You all look, Mac and Joel look a little bit blurry and fuzzy. Where Martha, you look clear. But when I look at
don't worry, it will. We've got.
I'm still talking.
The way that I gather with Riverside, the way that this works is the live streaming is a bit patchy, and then the 4K recording is what we repurpose.
So what I was gonna say, Joel, was that it's blurry here, but when I look on the LinkedIn, we look very clear. Which
Weird.
Is what I'm saying too.
Well, on my end, it looked very blurry. So
Well. Martha looks ironically very clear, Martha. Except I can't see your mouth. There you are.
Yeah, I know. I see the same thing. I see you clear too, but Joel and Mac, I don't. On the phone, because I'm on the phone too.
Yeah.
Well, Felipe's on a tablet, so that doesn't really count as a phone anyway.
I am on the tablet. Yes, I am on the tablet.
Tablet.
Yeah.
I have to work my schedule later on, and I'm available. I know.
Goodness me. So we only have 4 minutes left, but any feedback or comments about anything that we need to look at with regards to today was just our first experience with this new platform. Please throw it in there. Any questions, any suggestions? Now I know I'm blurry on my screen. I'm crystal clear. I'm looking on LinkedIn now, and I was clear until Martha went, I'm fuzzy. Now I'm fuzzy. So I don't know. Martha has these superpowers.
That does sound, yeah.
Martha's wicked.
Hey, now Joel's clear. That's so weird. It's weird. I don't know. He's super clear now.
So anyway, we got
on the plus side.
These things out.
On the plus side, and I had this with Riverside when I did it on the free account when I had my next YouTube video, which is coming out soon, as I can deal with this lot before I do that. All the picture froze, the audio was perfect. It didn't break up. So I have to hand it to Riverside, whatever they've done. And they've done something which no other platform has so far managed to actually do. When you freeze up, they keep the audio going. So well done. So I have to say well done for that.
Wow.
Are we getting rated by the audience? Because Mac has a 99%, Martha has a 96%, but you only have a 44%. I don't see my rating. Are we getting rated? What's the percentage for?
I don't have a rating on my screen.
Interesting.
Mac's got 99%. Martha's got 96%.
Yeah.
You're at 44%. What am I?
It could be your signal
You're at
quality.
99%.
Oh, yay! Okay, it's not my battery because my battery says 52%.
That's
so I don't know.
weird.
What is
Yeah,
that?
I was wondering what that was too.
I feel like is the audience
Yeah,
allowed to vote on us? Is someone gonna get voted out?
Yeah, no, it's rating your signal strength in
We
the
could do
background
that.
and your connectivity.
Oh. So no one's getting voted off? Damn, that would have been fun.
No.
The audience gets voted off and then we don't come back for 2 weeks.
Oh dear. Listen, folks, we are wrapping up and coming to the end. But feedback in the comments again. Any other questions and comments when it comes to our topic today would be amazing. If you've struggled in business and found some solutions that work for you when it comes to looking after your mental health, whether it comes to being sustainable in the sustainability side of things, or sustainable as in just being able to make sure that you're able to sustain energy levels, push forward, maintain growth, that social impact side of things, because sometimes having a purpose bigger than yourself is something that drives you stronger. Each one of us are different, so please share those. And then any other, we've all at some stage made mistakes in business. It's part of the journey. But if you can share those in the comments and go, hey, well, this is something that I experienced and I wish I had done X instead, please drop that in the comment, because we want other people to learn from our collective mistakes so that we don't all have to make the same ones, which means we all grow and achieve those results much quicker. So with that said, I'm going to hand over to these wonderful co-hosts just to tell you a final thought, wrap up with what's coming up for them and how you can support them, whether that's a live event or just sending them a DM or whatever it is. But if I could ask those of you that are regular watchers, or even those people that are new, if you've appreciated anything said by any one of these wonderful co-hosts or our co-hosts in the past, do us a favor, let them know, because they bring their time, their value, their energy every single week, and a lot of the time you could do these things. We've been doing this for a few years now, and a lot of the time you just got you keep giving, as Martha says, and it's so easy to reach that burnout stage and not realize that actually people are being impacted by what you're doing along that journey. So those are my final thoughts. I wish you all an incredible Saturday. I'm going to throw the mic to Martha, and then you can choose one of the other two suspects in the screen.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to tell you guys that I put my Christmas tree up. It's not a real tree, but I want to show you my tree. Oh, you can't even see it. Okay, never mind. Well, I put it up on November 1st because it brings my spirit up. So, and then I have plants. Apparently, I got a green thumb now. So plants are growing and they're looking healthy. I feed your soul. That is my advice to anyone right now, is to feed your soul, feed it, really, really feed into it. And I love what was shared too here, sharing your journey, whether it's TikTok, whether it's YouTube, whether it's here on LinkedIn, share your journey. Like, I'm going to be posting really soon. I had to be prepared before I start sharing, because sometimes when you're vulnerable, you do overshare, right? And so you got to be prepared for questions that may come up. So, and are you mentally prepared for that? So, in any business, vulnerability, it's key to success, I believe, but also for yourself, to clear yourself out and just get it out there and do what you can. overall, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys soon. And I'll post a picture of Teddy with his haircut. I'll pass it over to you, Felipe.
Well, thank you, Martha, and I hope that you and Teddy get to relax. I'm sure Teddy will feel very relaxed after the spa day. Wanted to just thank everyone that joined us, today. Everyone from, Meryl, who is just a master connector, and yeah, I probably, felt sharp because of that wonderful morning sleep I had. Leanna, it's great to see you. Thank you for joining us. And Tom Cullen, it's great to have you back. I feel like you took a little bit of break yourself, and now you're back. Dave Pushkin, I did put the link in there again, but I'm sorry we missed you. But you'll definitely have a chance to come back next week. And who else did I see in here? Oh, William Rochelle, Bill. Bill's got a show tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern if you all want to join Bill and check out some of the great work he does. And I think that was, and Gabe. Oh, Gabriella, I'm sorry. Gabriella Lobo, thank you for joining us. So for me, as far as last thoughts on this, is just, again, write down what you want to do. Because when it's in your head, it'll come back again and again. But once you write it down, it kind of feels a little more like, okay, I think the first step to taking action is writing it down, and then you can grow from there. So just write down your idea, what you want to do, year 1, year 5, year 10. Just start there. And I think you'll be able to see how you'll naturally start working towards it just because you started writing it down. As far as what I have coming up on Monday, I have part 2 of Workplace Wellness Hour, where we're going to be tackling the topic of how does personal and work things intersect sometimes. Our personal issues come into the workplace, or work issues come home with us, and how to best deal with that. So we have a PhD who's going to be joining us for part 2 of that, and it's a great conversation on how to be able to manage that, because the reality is we can't avoid it. So it's going to happen. And that's going to be on 8 p.m. on Mondays, this Monday coming up, with Ashley Llewellyn and Simona Jetty. And then I'll be back here next Saturday with an amazing crew, as always. If you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, follow my YouTube channel. If you follow my YouTube channel, you can subscribe there and see all the shows that I do, and you can really check out some of the past ones and find them a lot easier than you can on LinkedIn, unfortunately. And one last favor, if you have a child in your life, a daughter, a son, a nephew, a niece, a grandchild, a neighbor, a friend who just had a baby, consider buying my book, Miranda and Max, on Amazon.com, because it is a great chance for you to share the story. And people actually like it. It was actually a love letter to my daughter. I didn't think everyone else would like it as much. They're the ones who are pushing for book 2 already. So the inspiration, I can't take the full credit for all this because I'm being asked for it, which inspired me to want to keep on working towards it. So that's why I have 5 books in my plan. I kind of stay with my brand of Felipe's 5 books. And after that, I'm done. So again, you can see once you start developing those things for your business and what you want to do, you have a little bit of relief, a little bit of less anxiety and less stress because you have a plan. So look forward to seeing you all next week. Thank you both, or all 3 of you, for this amazing event. And Joel, I'm going to hand it over to you, my friend.
Apart from the great long list of the feedback which will be coming through the rest of this week and indeed the rest of this year, my next big events are happening around March time again, and we will be booking that shortly, and the websites, my company website still will hopefully, I say hopefully because obviously Printful likes to surprise us, will be live on the 1st of January, if I can get it to work properly. And meanwhile, we still got some of those lovely hats left. Well, I say we, Mac had some of those lovely hats left. So don't know what they're selling for, so I'll leave that information to him. And yes, I think that's it from me.
Awesome stuff. Well, Joel, thank you for going through the paces in the background and figuring all these things out with the new platform. and good luck with completing that list. But we will get there, and we'll be nice and polished as we go on.
I think
as we,
I think I've sorted
goes
out
on.
the RTMP bit just by looking at how to find it on LinkedIn, and you can only find it an hour before the event anyway. So
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Well, folks, listen, have an amazing Saturday. I wish you all well, and I pray that each one of you take some time for that self-care. And if it's not in your diary, by the way, you're probably not going to make it happen. So book it in. Just put it in there. It is vital. So we are awaiting those pictures, Martha, of a certain person at the spa. And we look forward to seeing you share those as well. Have an amazing week, everybody, and thank you for watching. All those wonderful people that support us every week.
thank you.
Adios, everyone.